Everything, everywhere, all at once. If you're a mom and a daughter, go watch it. You may have a better understanding of each other by the end of it. Right?
I don't know if your mom is like 60 and over now, probably not. They're probably gonna go like, "What the fuck did you take me? What the fuck is this?"
Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time.
You like pizza time?
Pizza time.
Ed, how are you, my friend?
Hello, sir. I'm gonna preface this with if I've just fallen faint sometime during this podcast, I apologize because, as you know, I got home at like 4:30 a.m. this last morning because I went to a BTS concert in Vegas.
Wow.
And did a day drive. Yeah, I'm alive.
Day trip back and forth. Did you
straight up?
Did you have permission to dance?
I had
Were you
permission
granted
to
permission?
dance. I wanted permission to die at some point because I was just so fucking tired.
Did you have some bread and grab some butter on it?
Look at this guy. Doesn't even listen to BTS and he's just coming in with the memes. I like it, dude.
Was the show
He came
Dynamite?
Prepared. Oh my God, stop it. Oh my God.
Did they end it with a mic drop?
Here we go. Oh my goodness. Alex, I thought I liked BTS the most. I'm thinking I'm not even in love with you right now.
I might be a closet BTS stan. You know, my car by
are
myself.
you?
Just
bro, you gotta tell me. We gotta get you. We gotta get you to one of those then, man.
Well, I don't know about that. That seemed like a lot of people there.
There was a lot of people. Holy shit!
Okay,
that being said, like it was masks actually were required, which I was really surprised about. I actually thought there was no mask required. But there was. So that did actually make me feel a little bit better because I was like, okay. It was funny because we talked about that in the line outside of, but before we even got into the stadium, there was of course, droves of people, just an immense amount of people outside. It looked like you know there was there was like a natural disaster and everyone needed to be there. And yeah, in that moment I was like, oh shit, I need to put my mask on because this is too much. This is the most amount of people I've been around since pre-pandemic. I'm like, okay, just be safe. Man, I'm gonna put my mask on because this is a lot. There's a lot.
I gave up on it after
Jesus Christ.
I gave up on it when I went to like Disney in Disneyland in February.
Sure. But
look at all these people.
I'm gonna go on the limb and actually say, even though it's Disney, there was more fucking people per square capita at this event than there was probably at Disney.
I saw the videos.
Holy shit, there's a lot of people. Dude,
it looked insane.
BTS needs to win a fucking Nobel Prize for like what they've been able to do. Or sorry, Peace Prize, whatever one of those insane prizes where that brings humanity together, because that's basically what they did. They're like they were like the glue for humanity for the last 2 years. If that concert was any show for that, it was definitely that. I was like, there's a wow. There's a lot of people
I am
here.
a closet BTS fan.
I love it. Good to hear.
I do enjoy the song Butter. It's probably my favorite song in like the last year.
Oh, really? Wow.
I do. I do enjoy Permission to Dance, and I do enjoy Dynamite, and I have gotten into their full Korean songs.
Of course.
Mic Drop is very cool. And then I love their duo with Coldplay. Was it called My Universe?
My Universe. Yeah. Look at this guy, bro. I'm so happy for you.
Speaking of Coldplay and concerts, Coldplay went with my buddy Travis. It's the best concert I've ever seen.
Wait, which one? Was this the
They were down in San Diego.
Album? Milo Xyloto?
Maybe.
Was it how long ago was it? I don't know if you know this. I'm a huge fucking Coldplay fan.
5 years ago.
Oh, okay. So it's one of their more recent albums. Okay.
Yeah, it was down here in San Diego, and it was in the Qualcomm Stadium, which is now destroyed, RIP. And it was just amazing. It was crazy.
Dude, I actually have never been to one of the Coldplay concerts, and I need to go one time. But I have one of their DVDs, their Blu-rays. I bought it.
Okay.
For their Milo Xyloto tour when that album came out. And holy shit, like what I saw in that fucking DVD from sitting there, I was like astounded. And actually, I think they were one of the first to start the whole, because I don't know if you know this, but at BTS concerts, they're very famous for having what they call a BTS bomb, which is like a light stick. It's a light stick.
Oh yeah, we got a wristband.
Yeah. So exactly. So and then didn't they like light up?
Yeah.
And like kind of sync.
They handed our light up, and I was like,
thing.
what the hell is this? And then boom, yeah, like the whole stadium was...
Exactly. Yeah, so the bomb is the same thing. Yeah. And I saw that first with that Blu-ray. I was like, holy shit, that's fucking sick. So they've taken it.
Was it the one with confetti popping out and shit?
Yeah.
Then that must have been the tour I went
It might be. I might be then. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
It was great. It was amazing.
I saw that video. I was like, holy shit, that looks fucking awesome.
Amazing.
Anyways, music talk on Pizza Time. Who fucking
music knows? Talk? We talk about everything here.
We talk about everything, man.
But that's the music talk. Everything. Go see BTS in concert. Go see Coldplay in concert. You won't be disappointed. I guess. Anyway,
but do not try your best to not go to. If you live in LA, don't get a ticket for Vegas because you might have to drive 8 hours in the fucking day.
In a day,
like we did.
Yeah. After the concert, 4 hours after the concert.
The reason we did was because the hotels were just
expensive.
But yeah, they were just crazy, like $6,000 to $1,000 for like a normal hotel. I was like, no, we're not doing that.
Speaking about butts, we're gonna talk about everything, everywhere, all at once. That is a joke for people who have seen the film. You'll know what that is because it's probably the funniest action scene I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, that's going to be our movie talk at the end.
Yes, very exciting.
Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. But we have quite a bit of news to jump into. We've got DC. DC's got a lot of news and everything going on with them. We've got Mads Mikkelsen talking about Indy 5 and how it's a return back to Raiders of the Lost Ark and that kind of feel of movie, which is very exciting. And then lastly, we also have to talk about the what was our last topic? Moon Knight. Moon Knight season 1, episode 3. It's really ramped up. It's really gotten much better, and it's fantastic. But Ed, I think a good place to start is DC.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
It's a lot of news, man. So
it's a lot. It's big news. Huge news.
Okay, so if you haven't been following all the developments with DC, let's start here at the top. First and foremost, Warner Bros. Has been bought by Discovery Media, and it's merging into Warner Discovery. They bought them for $43 billion. Now, this is important because, Warner Bros. Owns DC and all the movie rights. The new heads at Discovery are very interested in basically restarting the DCEU, which they want to bring back characters like Superman. They want a couple more movies like Joker. Hopefully it sticks to Joker and kind of that world. And they really want to restart the whole Justice League push. Now that's super important because a lot of the DC films have some big question marks around them. So Black Adam just had its screenings and now it's heading to quote unquote unplanned reshoots. That's first and foremost. We don't know anything about the screenings. No one's allowed to talk about them. But just right off the top, that's kind of a red flag. But
it's a bit of a worrisome. Yeah,
it's a worrisome, but it's also not because, there are still films. Apparently Thor 4 is in reshoots. Maybe not done. Who knows? If you believe rumors, I don't know. But so it could be bad, could be good. We don't know. But that movie got pushed. More worrisome is there is an ongoing Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. For Johnny Depp is suing Amber Heard for defamation, and it is a very crazy trial. We're going to get into it. I'm just going to read off the rest of the news here first. But Amber Heard is not looking great in the public eye at the moment.
Not at all. I don't think she ever did, in a sense. Like at least to her, what she wanted.
Right.
But even worse now.
Yeah, she does not looking good. And Walter Hamada, the head of DC for now, was at the trial, and he testified that they actually considered recasting her for Aquaman 2. And look, Aquaman 2 just got pushed. Who knows what's going to happen? But at this moment in time, I'm not sure DC and Warner Bros. Is going to stick with Amber Heard in that film. So that's another thing happening. On top of that, Ezra Miller got arrested. For literally threatening a couple's life. He said, I will bury you.
It was really bad.
Now, this is a little bit of a breaking news. The Hawaii couple actually dropped the charges against them, which I'm assuming somebody gave somebody a little bit of cheddar cheese for the troubles, which I shouldn't make a joke about threatening someone's life. Don't do that. But But now there's supposedly Ezra Miller's projects at WB have been put on pause. WB has come out and said that's not true. We're not commenting. But you see what we're getting at here? We got a lot of problems.
I can't help but think of that meme from who's the guy who plays Olaf? Who does the voice of Olaf? That like
Josh
comedian
Gad.
actor, Josh Gad. That meme from he goes, "What is happening?" Do you know that one?
Yes, yes.
The best. So, anyways, I can't help but think WB is just like an executive is like that.
Yeah, I'm
just bloodshot eyes. Like what the fuck?
So I think we start with the very top of that news. That's all the news. Thankfully,
let's do it.
All. So we start with the very top. Discovery potentially relaunching DC. What do you think about it, Ed? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, it's I mean, look,
you for it, against it?
Any news for a change on DC, I think, is a good thing because let's be honest, like, does anybody really care at the moment? Like, that's it. Right. Very little. I mean, I don't want to put any of the DC fans out there who enjoy these films. That's fine. However, you guys have to admit that the general population, and of course, into reference to the MCU, it's not the DCU is not anywhere near the status of that, and largely has had a lot of snafus and middling reviews for their stuff, and quite frankly, there's just no coherence, right? And it's a good thing because I think particularly because where's this news coming from? Who's the new guy? Is that what's the Iger of that? Of who just
they haven't hired the Iger yet. They want Walter Hamada is the head of DC.
Or who's the head of WB Discovery now?
Oh, I don't remember his name.
David.
That sounds super familiar. Hold on.
I'm sorry if you can look that up. Yeah, but he's stating, we want to basically make this like the MCU, and I think that's the smartest thing to finally come out. It's just like, guys, stop thinking you're like above them, that you're better than the MCU in some other ways. Like, no, everyone's looking. The world is looking at the DC universe against the MCU universe, and there's not escaping that. It's a black hole of awesomeness, and it's forever going to be put aside next to that. So go ahead and look and accept it, embrace it. Yeah. And how do we do that? How do we do what they're doing?
Right.
And so we can just give good stories and things that the fans want to see. Straight up, period. And that sounds exactly what this gentleman, and I'm sorry for forgetting his name.
David Zaslav.
There we go. I was thinking like Zaslav or something.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Okay.
Zaslav, yeah.
That it sounds like that's his plan for the DC, to basically give it the MCU studios, the Marvel Studios treatment. So
which
I'm all for it.
It makes sense, right? Because most rational comic book fans, I know the Snyder fans wouldn't call them rational. They are, they rushed through it to build you. There was no universe building, so we were just all supposed to just like this Superman, which I have really no problem. I didn't really love Man of Steel, but I don't mind Henry Cavill as Superman.
I love Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah, I didn't love Man of Steel.
I didn't like Man of Steel.
Portrayed him.
No, me either. Me either.
Look, and they were supposed to just be okay with Ben Affleck as Batman, be okay with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and she was arguably the best one until Jason Momoa showed up as Aquaman. He's been great. I've really not liked the casting of Ezra Miller as Flash, but people love it. I say, I get it. He's an acquired taste, but I do think he's a talented actor. Don't threaten people. But so they rushed through it, and now they're having to kind of, back up and restart everything because you didn't do it right. It's like the movie Cars. The very, when he's paving the road, Lightning McQueen. And he rushes through it, and
I'm gonna pretend I've seen Cars. Yeah,
you've never seen fucking Cars?
I've never seen fucking Cars, dude.
You've never seen Cars?
I've never seen Cars. What? Fucking fire me. I don't know. Like
what?
I don't know. It's not my
Cars.
thing. I'm sure it's great. I'm not saying it's bad. I've literally never seen it. I'm sorry for the Cars fans out there.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. So but when you rush through something, you don't do it right. So that's what they're doing. They're having to restart. And I think it's a great idea. I think they should bring back a Superman. I don't know if it'll be Henry Cavill Superman. I know Michael B. Jordan has a black Superman project. I can't remember the character's name. He's not Clark Kent. He's a different Superman from the comics. I know that. But
was that greenlit? That's in current production?
I think the script is being written.
I heard something about that. Yeah. I don't know how far they are into that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what does this mean for the current in production DC films? I think we see Batgirl get finished. I think we see Blue Beetle get finished. But I do think they're going to get. I don't know about that movie. I don't know
what the fuck is Blue Beetle.
Hey, it's basically Ant-Man. He's basically Ant-Man. Kind of.
God. Okay, whatever.
Anyway.
It sounds like a Haribo candy. Like Blue Beetle.
So hey, I'm all for it. I think they should
Too.
restart. It doesn't matter at this point. You're not going to catch up to Marvel, so don't even play the game.
We've been wanting it for years. We've been telling them, take a break, stop, breathe, take it in.
Yeah,
because you just keep going is not working, brother.
Exactly.
No, stop.
I mean, Peacemaker worked, but Peacemaker worked because you took a story that you took this guy that was hated and you gave him a backstory that was just misunderstood and had a terrible life, and he's actually not that bad of a guy.
Also, they had a little person on that production called James Gunn.
I mean, they gave him complete control.
Who knew he would make something amazing like this little indie dude?
Hire great storytellers, you might be better off. But let's go from that to the Amber Heard stuff. Heard, Johnny Depp stuff. So Ed and I, we've caught up on the case this week. The case started last week.
Yes.
So last Monday, and it has been nuts, guys.
It's been batshit crazy. Also,
right?
Just to remind people, the whole thing has been a thing since 2016. Like probably even before that a little bit. Like it's been 6 years, 7 years.
Right. Yeah, and
that this thing's happening.
To put it in perspective of how crazy it is, and we'll get into the movie part, but to put it in perspective, like there's Johnny Depp just had like a makeup artist come on and basically explain how Amber Heard could not have had bruises. So he's saying he's claiming he never actually hit her. And we should preface by saying, I think both these people were never meant to be together and were very bad for each other. And they both should have just been no. Like,
I don't know if there's been any more truthful statement that I've ever seen.
Like these two people were clearly not meant for each other, and it shows.
Pretty clear.
But anyway, so there's been statements about how Amber Heard slapped Johnny Depp while his mother was in the ICU. How Amber Heard spit in her assistant's face. How Amber Heard claims that she had bruises and then she used this miracle cream, essentially, that the bruises just went away. And people have come on saying that's not how bruises work. If you're bruised, you're bruised. You can kind of hide it, but you can't just make it go away. Even a professional makeup artist can't make it go away. So there's been a lot of like negative things coming out toward Amber Heard at the moment. And next week, I think we'll hear more negative things come out toward Johnny Depp. But look, Johnny Depp's career is pretty much already in the dumpster. They recast him in that Fantastic Beasts movies, which is sad. You don't want it to be because he seems like a fine person. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, right. This is a hearsay type of trial or whatever. Yeah. Hearsay, she say. And that's like, what the words. We don't know. Right. But I mean, based off like what I've seen so far, like I'm just going to say bitch is crazy, but who knows? We'll see. It's intense stuff. It's messed up stuff. It's really messed up stuff. And I was watching. I was watching on the way to Vegas yesterday to kill 4 hours of driving.
You watched the testimony.
I watched one testimony, and again, I'm not trying to be biased. It's just that it had the most views, so I was like, okay, what's this guy up to? And it was Johnny Depp's like one of his best friends like for 40 years. So obviously there's some bias there. It's for but. That guy was just first of all, that dude's fucking awesome. I don't know if you watched it. He's like this dude from like New York. He has this crazy accent, but he's just like the chillest guy. He's just awesome, and he says things straight up. And one of the things I love that I've never seen a lot of people on the stand do is he constantly asks the attorneys to like repeat their questions. I don't know if you watched it, but like he'll ask it more than once. So like, can you read that again? I'm not sure what you're saying. He's such a he reminds who reminds me of Mike Ehrmantraut from fucking he reminds not in just look but just the way he handles. He just has this control of the situation. Dude, I want that guy, and because this guy's fucking awesome. Anyways, it's not looking good for Amber Heard at the moment, but I mean, how does this deal with Aquaman? They should.
Yeah, let's go.
They shouldn't have had her for Aquaman too. I think any other. Let's be honest. Any other person who was in, I won't even say the other person. Let's be honest. That's straight up. It's because she's a woman. And what the topic of the whole thing is about. It is because her whole because her whole platform for the whole thing. Remember, the op-ed that she wrote in 2016 was all about during the Me Too time. I mean, still is the Me Too time, but it was during that time, and she was trying to get her foot in there in a good way. I mean, again, in her perspective, like a good way. Like, I'm trying to bring out these stories.
Right.
So like, I don't see WB going, we should fire her, or for that. That would not look good. Right. Should they have? If it was a man, they probably would have. That's all I'm saying. Well, I mean,
again, you look at Amber Heard's career. She's still in things. She's still moving forward.
Yeah, she's still moving forward for the most part.
So, and again, like, it does seem that there was abuse on both sides. Like, there was verbal abuse. So, like,
for sure,
one wrong doesn't make a right, or two wrongs don't make a right. So, like, Johnny Depp's down in the dumps, and like I said, Walter Hamada said we have considered recasting her, and I think if it comes out and she does lose this case, or it's like I don't know, can you have like a draw in legal cases? Anyway, if it's like a tie where they both have to pay each other a certain amount of money or something like that.
I would love it if at court cases, if they both,
it's a tie.
No one wins. Yeah. That's like a karate fucking dude.
Sudden death. No. Anyway. So
good.
So if she does lose this thing, I do think it could be bad, and I do think like it puts Warner Bros. And the new Discovery merger in like a sticky situation where they say, "Shit, do we recast her? Like, are fans going to show up?" Because fans are not happy about her sticking around at this moment in time. So again, it's like this kind of sticky situation where, hey, do we recast her, or what does that mean, or how does it work?
It's all going to depend on how this goes. If she wins the case, and people largely take that as face value, which I'm sure some people will. Of course. No, I don't think WB will. Again, these companies have to sort of go with the flow. Yeah, like it's very tough for them to.
It's a tough spot to be in. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a tough spot, and so if there's any inkling that, like, okay, the public thinks they seem to accept that, then we'll keep her on. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's that simple. But it will end up being like, what does it come down to? If she does lose the case, and it turns out it's pretty damn clear that she
did abuse him and kind of did.
This was all a lie, right? Like, this was all just a lie. Yeah. Then hell yeah, you're gone. Like, bye from Hollywood. In fact,
what does that mean for Aquaman 2? If you're James Wan, what do you have to do? Do you recast her and reshoot everything, or do you?
What's that? I don't even remember her character's name, honestly. Like, get rid of the character. What's her name? I don't remember.
Merida, or is that the girl from Brave?
That's the girl from Brave, but it might be her name in this too. I don't know. Jesus,
she had red hair, so maybe
red hair, green outfit.
Oh fuck, you're right.
Yeah, I mean I think that's where your nuclei are going with that. I mean, that makes sense. But who cares? I know no one. Do we see palpable love between?
Yeah, give me Jason Momoa. I don't need her. It's fine. We don't need her. Dude can carry a movie now. We know it.
We don't need her. No. So yeah. Whatever happens, recast her, because in terms of the DCEU, we're fine. We're good.
Yeah. No one cares. Restart the DCEU. You only have to keep Momoa at this point. If you want to keep Gal Gadot, keep Gal Gadot. But
no, it's gonna be Gal Gadot. Yeah, for sure.
That they keep. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I mean, she's look. Hey, I said it in Red Notice is the best movie we've seen her act in my opinion.
She's having fun.
I thought she was free flowing and having fun. So like,
I agree with that.
Maybe the director needs to change. Maybe who knows? But Wonder Woman 84 wasn't exactly a fantastic film. Anyone that saw that movie?
Oh boy,
she rapes a man. Anyway, that's what she does.
She does. We both said that after that. I'm like, this raped a dude. Like,
yeah, that's like. Wait,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Objective. I think it's objective fucking truth. Like, that's what she did.
Absolutely.
So whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, so. Moving on from that to the last bit of WB news, because it's just not enough, apparently. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, look at the talk we're having with MCU, and then look at the talk that we have with DC. Just, if that's not enough to say, restart this bitch
Yeah.
Cut everybody for all we care. Honestly, at this point, like this is not the type of talk you want.
Keep Pattinson, and then I don't really need Heath Ledger's Joker. Heath Ledger. I'm so
Heath
sorry.
Ledger. Oh no. Oh I'm so God, sorry. Man. Really?
What's his name? Joaquin Phoenix. I didn't really love that movie. Maybe because I thought the movie was fucking sad and depressing, and I was like, I watched that movie and I'm like, here's a movie I never ever want to watch again because it's like
super depressing.
Yeah,
that's maybe why I loved it so much. I've seen it 3 times now. It's fine.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so the last bit of DC news is Ezra Miller was arrested in Hawaii. Like I said earlier, he was arrested for threatening a couple's life.
If anybody knows too, this is just now a true crime podcast. This is fully a true crime podcast for superheroes. That's what we're doing now.
Apparently he was belligerent and drunk, and he's been harassing this couple. He like barged into their home at one point. The police had warned him before.
Wait,
what?
He went to their home?
He barged into their home.
Oh, he was harassing them.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I thought it was just some like verbal altercation.
It says,
that's some serious shit.
When Miller he barged in on them at their home, and then he started yelling obscenities at one point on a microphone, and then he said, "I will bury you. I will take you out back and bury you and your slut wife."
Sure. Sorry, that's not perfect. That's just nuts.
Yeah, he's got some problems. It seems like he's been maybe drinking too much. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, go get help. First of all, second, this is like also DC's in bad straits right now.
This is some bad shit, man.
Yeah, because like you have The Rock, who's like this pillar of the community, and everybody loves him no matter what. So they know that movie's probably going to be a success. But they're sitting there. I know for a fact they're in a room right now. Maybe not right now, but like on Mondays and Tuesdays, going, what the fuck are we gonna do? Are people just gonna forget about this in a year? Like, someone go talk to him and make sure bring him back to the continental United States and put him in a room for a little bit and get him into rehab or something. Like, they're probably freaking out, and reports are that all Ezra Miller projects are on pause right now. That's also the Fantastic Beasts movies, which are the worst movies. I hate those movies. Anyway,
the worst. Wow. Okay.
Have you seen those fucking films?
Oh no, I've seen them.
They're so not boring.
They're boring.
What?
The worst films. That's a.
Why do I care about Newt Scamander?
Crazy. Yeah. I mean, the dude got pushed. The dude got pushed out of his own movie for the last 2 movies. So
yeah, now it's about Dumbledore. Anyway,
also,
whatever.
who the fuck could understand what that guy was even saying? I didn't understand
I never understood anything.
What he was. Eddie went a little bit too far with that.
Eddie ran. Yeah, whatever. He's a good actor, but the movies.
I love Eddie Redmayne. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. So those movies, he's paused on that project. Any other projects have been paused. Obviously, this is just rumors. We don't actually know. But that's really, really bad. Because if you're DC, you're just having a panic attack, I think.
You're having a panic attack. You have like fucking Michael Keaton. I mean, this Flash film, by the way, seems to be like what was going to be their restart film, and like they got fucking Michael Keaton back, like they got a bunch of other freaking Ben Affleck's back. Like this was supposed to be like their No Way Home, and their main star goes and does this. I'm like, I don't know. Right, DCU, man. Like I don't hate you, but it's like hard to kind of love you at the same time. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know.
And he plays 2 different versions of the Flash in this film, and there's news that they want to bring Superman back, and they're going to introduce Supergirl in this movie, that she was going to be the new Superman going forward. So it just seems like I don't know, if I'm working on this Flash film, it does seem like this is going to get, maybe not. It's going to be like, hey, guess what? Go watch in theaters in 15 days. Go watch it on HBO Max, because
it just has that. The thing is that it just has that much more of a climb to go now. When they thought that they were just getting over,
right?
I'm sure the team have been proud with what they're working on, and now that hill has become a mountain again, and it's just like, motherfuck. I'm curious now. Like, well, what do you think they could do? Let's say that they get into a room and they're like, fuck it. Throw it all out or something, or like they gotta like reserve like Gal Gadot.
Well, I think
the players that are working,
things you could do. Like, I think you're going to get Wonder Woman 3 no matter what. I mean, Patty Jenkins, whether Wonder Woman 1 was fine. Wonder Woman 2 was absolute trash. Patty Jenkins, I think, has put in a lot of effort, and I think she's dropped. Rumors are that Star Wars Squadron. Yeah, Rogue Squadron has been put on hold so she can completely focus on this. She actually left the Cleopatra film she was going to direct, starring Gal Gadot, to solely focus on Wonder Woman 3. She's bounced out of a lot of projects, so I think they will. And I think they will have Wonder Woman 3 with Gal, and like it did launch HBO Max. It did kind of send it into a new actual relevance, I would say. So I think we'll see that, and then all the movies in production. Shazam, I think it will live outside the DCEU for now. Batman as well, and then whatever happens with the Amber Heard case, if they do recast, I won't be completely surprised if they push that back into like July or something. And then The Flash, I think The Flash is just going to live. And then I wouldn't be surprised also if they made Andy Muschietti. Yeah, if they made them reshoot the ending and you saw I was about to say if because again, this movie is supposed to be a bit of a reset, and now they're finding more reasons to reset shit. Everything, right?
Like, could they use this? Yeah, could they hold the film a little more and then reshoot a bunch of shit so that
do you hold?
Because where do you go from here? Like, how do you like present this as the reset and then oh fuck, we have other things to reset? Like, what do you do? Like, there's such a I feel like there's such a fucking pickle right now.
Right?
Like, what the fuck do you do?
You're like, because you have obviously,
goddamn,
Batman's fine. Obviously, that worked. The Rock and Black Adam will be fine. We know it. People are going to go see the movie. It is The Rock. Non-superhero fans are going to watch that movie because of The Rock. That's what he brings. Shazam, they're setting up Shazam 3, which will be him versus Black Adam. But the bigger MCU films, like, I know it's The Rock and I know it's Shazam. They're not bringing $1 billion. They're not. Like Doctor Strange 2 might bring $1 billion because of the rumored cameos, not because of Benedict Cumberbatch and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But also Marvel's put in the time and effort to establish these characters. So they have to reboot Superman. They have to reboot. I do think The Flash could be $1 billion property. I do think Aquaman could be $1 billion property. I do think that they'll keep Jason Momoa because people love Jason Momoa, and he's frankly, I wasn't like sold on the casting when I saw him, but when I saw the Aquaman movie, I was like, he's great.
Yeah, he's good.
He's fun. He gets it.
Yeah, I like watching him.
Yeah, I like watching him. The movie wasn't like my favorite movie of all time.
I didn't like it actually.
I remember you texted me. You were in the Philippines and you texted me that you didn't like it.
You remember that shit. Yeah. I was in the Philippines when I watched it, and that didn't help. I don't see why it would have, but no, it didn't. That movie was really bad, and I got a lot of flack for that. Actually, it was like you're just a DC hater. I'm like, nope, the movie's just not that great, dude. Like it's really not that good.
Yeah. So I think you recast all these leads, and then you build upon what the Batman set and Gotham City there, and you can show a difference. If you have the Batman, the dark, you can do a very bright, hopeful Superman film.
Yeah.
Which
here's what I think. Here's what I think they can do as a pretty soft sort of a soft reboot. Just fucking focus on the single films. Just forget about the universe as a whole, and just tell single good stories. That's what's worked for you guys with the Batman. You can clearly see that even without a larger universe promised, people still are interested in these characters, and they will make money at the box office. So fuck it. Like, okay, if you don't want to recast a bunch of people, which I'm sure you won't want to, then just don't even bother trying to get them in the same movies yet. Get them on good adventures on their own, have their own shit together, and then 4 years down the line, do a proper what do you call it?
Start connecting them little by little, sewing them just a little bit. Doesn't have to be big. It's like, oh, did you hear about this incident? Something like that. Little side dialogue, the way it
until
works.
you get your Kevin Feige, right? Or until you get someone who can understand how to get these things together in a proper way. Just fuck all that and just make good films in and of themselves, and then you'll be fine. You'll make money.
Completely agree.
And you'll please the fans, and maybe you'll start casting people who don't get in trouble. Because Jesus Christ. Because I mean, again, and this is again another testament to really, I think, one of the biggest casting is fantastic. The casting in MCU.
Yeah.
Sarah Haley Flynn, who is it? I forget her name. I think
something like that. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, give her an Oscar. Fucking give her some of one of the biggest prizes you can find, because Jesus Christ, not only does she nail finding people who nail the characters, but they find just great collaborative people. Yeah. Just awesome people who are there on the same level as everybody else. And that's it, man.
Simu Liu's not out belligerently telling people to go bury their wives or something. Like, they find people that have made good decisions with their lives.
Chris Evans Evans did call someone a slut once, though, if you remember that shit.
I don't remember that shit, but
it was a joke.
If Chris Evans told me that, I'd be like, oh fuck, I gotta get the hell out of here. Let me see how big you are. I gotta go. Bye.
Do you remember that though? Do you remember that moment?
Remember that. No.
It was, I forgot what press store it was from, but he was paired with Jeremy Renner. I think it was for the original Avengers. They were like, and he slut shamed Black Widow. As a joke, right? And they got flack for that shit. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Anyways.
Well, can't do anything anymore. Anyway, so that's the state of the DCEU. That's what we'll leave it at.
What a talk for the DC. Who knew that this was that was
40 minutes of talk right there.
Who knew that was like a big chunk of this week DC talk? Wow,
it's insane what's going on with DC. I hope Warner Bros. Or Warner Bros. Whatever the fuck is Warner Discovery gets it figured out, because they are fantastic characters. There's fantastic side characters you can bring in that aren't big in the comics. I mean, you can do so many great things with it. So I hope they get it figured out.
I want a motto next time we hear about this, that DZ's got his DC.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
That way his last name starts
David
with a Z, right?
Zallis. Okay. Zallis, something like that. Yeah.
DZ for DC.
So moving on from that to very, very quickly, let's just talk about Mads Mikkelsen. He was doing interviews. He's in Fantastic Beasts. I'm Dumbledore. What is it?
I am Dumbledore.
Is that some Dumbledore does something?
Dumbledore Secrets or something. Yeah.
Oh, I like mine. Fantastic Beasts 3. Dumbledore does something. Anyway, he's in that. He doesn't play Dumbledore. He plays the bad guy Grindelwald.
Grindelwald? Is that what you said?
I said Grindelwald.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I think that should be his name over
Grindelwald.
Grindelwald. Anyway,
Grindelwaldo.
This actually works with the last dub. He's playing Johnny Depp's old character, Mads Mikkelsen. He switched his face. It was magic. Anyway, so he was talking about Indy 5, because I think he's the villain in Indy 5, which at all accounts, it's going to be the final Indiana Jones film. So
just because, I mean, I love Harrison Ford, but Jesus Christ, the guy is like almost 80, right? Is he pushing 80?
I think he'll be 80 when the film comes out.
He's like in his 70s, bro. I was dead surprised that he even bothered with this one. So this must be some good ass shit.
For Harrison Ford, you know how he hates. Harrison Ford is 79. He will be 80 when the movie comes out next year. Oh my
God.
So you know how Harrison Ford hates Star Wars and hates Han Solo and is not afraid to say it? Yeah. He actually is the exact opposite with Indiana Jones. He's had several interviews where he goes, when I die, Indy dies.
Yeah.
I think he holds the character much closer to his heart than Han Solo. If they recast Han Solo, he'd be like, I don't care. Get out of my face. You enjoy it. But anyway, Mads Mikkelsen was talking about it, and he just said that expect the film to be much, much closer in tone and style to Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade, which to me, that's probably the most exciting thing I've heard about this film in a long time. This film has been coming out, I don't know if you know this, Ed, since it was scheduled to be released in 2020.
That's true? Wow.
It's been pushed back so many times. It was going to it's been pushed back so many times. It's insane. It's been in Steven Spielberg came back. When did they start
principal photography though?
They didn't. They started in 2020.
Oh, they started principal, and
and then they shut down because the world shut down. Right.
Right.
So they Steven Spielberg was going to come back to direct it, and they decided to step aside during the production of it, the pre-production, and James Mangold is directing it, which is a very exciting thing.
Very exciting.
Because maybe we get a Logan-esque style kind of send-off for Indy and Harrison Ford in this role.
Some type of Western-y.
Yeah, and you hear this and you think, this is really, really great news. So that's my take. Ed, what's yours? Just really quick on it.
Yeah, no, that's great. I really, really love the first 3 indies. I actually, though, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I love all those 3 indies. The 4th one was a bit of a mess. I wouldn't say it's the worst movie ever, though. No, I kind of enjoy some parts of it. It's fun, like whatever. But I mean, let's be fun. Shia LaBeouf, that was the biggest problem with that movie. Because, anyways, I don't want to go too far into that. But he was just horrible.
Yeah.
But my favorite indie though is actually Temple of Doom.
Yes, that's right.
Love Temple of Doom. I think it's the best one in my opinion. So that is all to say that if Matt had said, "Oh, this is like Temple of Doom," I'd been just as up in my seat as hearing about that. This is like Raiders and the Last Crusade. All the pieces here is great.
Yeah.
So I can't be any more excited for this. I love those movies, and I'm curious though. Like, how does this?
Is obviously, it his send off? Does he die?
One part, it is. You have to kind of say that it's not like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because that's like the worst marketing you could say.
Right. Well, he was very careful. He skipped Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is either, from my experience talking to people, is either loved or hated.
I agree. Yes.
It's not one of those that's in the middle.
And it makes sense. No, because Last Crusade was made on purpose to be a bit of a course correction from Temple of Doom. It was made to feel a lot like that. So that makes sense that they are putting those two together because tonally, those make sense. So there's just saying this is classic indie. Like this is the indie that pretty much everyone has unanimously said is their favorite type of indie in terms of tone. Right. So great. I mean, this is just from his words. Like obviously he's going to say that.
Hope. I hope it's great. I hope it's like a send-off. James Mangold is a fantastic director. He's very
one of the
underrated.
Best. He's one of the best out right now.
They don't talk about him as much. I mean, people forget he directed Walk the Line. Like
they do forget that.
Yeah, like the dude is very good, and
he's so established, and he's only gotten better. I think.
Yeah, so I'm very excited. I hope he gets an MCU movie eventually, but hey, we'll see what happens with that. But that's really quick. It's very exciting stuff for Indy 5. And then the last little bit of news is last time we spoke, we spoke on Moon Knight episode 1. Now there's been 2 more episodes. Ed, I'll let you go first on this one, buddy. What do you
want to talk episode 2 and 3?
Just talk episode 3. Just put them together. Talk how you feel about the show and how it's going right now.
Just to recap everybody on what our pilot episode recap, we were both like, it was good. We enjoyed it. I think we were both a little disappointed though because it felt a little too mysterious and not too much giving us like good ground to sort of latch onto.
Right.
But I will say, and I think I can speak for both of us on this one too, that we have enjoyed episode 2 and 3 on a much better than episode 1, and I think it's only getting better.
Yeah. It's like climbing a ladder. It's getting higher and higher, which is better and better.
Which is always great, right? Like you want to see something get better instead of worse. Right. So, and that's all I could have prayed for. So, episode 2 I thought was really good. What exactly happens in episode 2 though? Oh yeah, he visits Harrow, and
Arthur
like
Harrow,
we get to learn more about the cult, and then we see him transform into Mr. Knight. All that again. The thing about this that's really keeping it together is Oscar Isaac, right?
Yes.
His performance also keeps getting better and better. Then in episode 3, we get even more of that. They're in Egypt, and we see more of the lore and the gods play into this shit.
Yes.
Like all of that is fantastic. I love its trajectory. So I'm having a great time with this, and I can only hope that in the next half of the season, there's 3 more episodes. That it keeps building and it keeps giving us more Oscar Isaac mystery. We learned that in the last episode that there's a third identity,
possibly.
Like, very cool. That's cool. So
yes,
I love it. What's been yours?
Oh, I'm pretty much on the same spectrum. My only gripe with it, I'll start with a gripe because you were so positive about it.
Oh, yeah,
the
absolutely.
CGI hasn't been great. He looks weird in the suit. It's clear they spent a lot of money on Khonshu because his character looks, when he's on screen and he's talking with Mark Spector or Stephen Grant, it looks fantastic. It looks like he's really there. But when he's wearing that suit, like they blew their budget on certain things, and other you can tell it's failing in other parts of the show.
They CGI. Why are they CGIing the suit? They clearly also made a practical suit.
I agree.
It's really weird. I don't know.
Completely agree.
There was a problem post production, like they found, and
maybe.
But I'm actually really confused as to how much is it the whole suit that's being CGI'd. There's enough of the suit being CGI'd because you can tell.
I think he wore some on it, but they've gone an extra layer of CGI on top of it.
Something tells me
face mask is 100% CGI.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, with the eyes and
the cape is 100% CGI.
That's for sure. Yeah, but like the body, right? There's some parts of his body that are CGI. I'm like, you have a practical suit. I can only guess that perhaps because maybe it is made out of like real wrap or something, that maybe there's like some defects that they caught in post. I don't know.
I think you're onto something there, because I do think that maybe they saw the footage, they saw the dailies, they're like, I don't like the way this looks. We're gonna redo it. You know,
or maybe it's possible like under certain lighting conditions, it just wasn't popping out enough.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe, and so they have to go in and just kind of CGI certain parts to just make it look better.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
Yeah,
so
that's my guess. Yeah,
that's my only gripe with it. The CGI hasn't been great, and it does take away a little bit from the action scenes, I'd say.
I think so.
Like the action scene in this E3, the big action sequence was at the end. Where he's in this like carnival, this rich guy's carnival thing.
Carnival.
It's what it is, basically. Bro.
It really is. It does look like a car. I'm like, I was a little confused as to what this guy does. Like he has like a historical collector, so he has a jousting ring in his fucking.
Also,
I don't know.
Rest in peace to that actor. He passed away in February. Poor guy in a skiing accident.
He did. I forgot it was him. I didn't realize that was the guy. Yeah. I saw the memoriam at the end. I was like, oh yeah, that's him.
Oh man, that's so sad. But
that really sucks. Yeah. But
he was young. He was like our age.
Yeah, it's like great. 32? Like to get a big break like that, and he had he got a good screen time, and just to know that life's short, everybody, man. Like
don't take it for granted.
Don't get it for granted. That's a great critique, though. I like that.
Yeah. But that's my only gripe with the show so far. We get a hint at his third character, so I did some research. There is a third identity. His name is Jake Lockley.
Is this the taxi driver?
He's basically he's essentially a taxi driver from the movie. He's modeled like him. He has these he has like a very moral, like questionable compass. So
you're talking about the De Niro film, right?
Yes.
What film are you talking about? Okay.
Taxi Driver.
And not the one with what's his face? Queen Latifah and
James Fallon.
What was that movie?
Taxi.
It's just called Taxi.
Yeah, where the taxi turns into a fucking supercar, and you're like,
I actually kind of like that movie. I don't know. Anyways, another.
I'd have to rewatch it. It's been a while. Anyway, so at the very end of that movie, he's like in reverse, and he's like singing a song, isn't he? Because he can't drive at all.
Correct.
Yeah, I do remember that.
He has to. I think he has to sing. Correct me if we gotta find this clip.
Yeah,
he's saying "Staying Alive," I think.
Yeah, I think.
And then he's driving backwards.
Yeah, it's like driving backwards.
Because like she's shot or something, and he needs to drive. I don't know. Dude, I remember watching that movie multiple times though, going like, I just think this is it's funny.
A good, funny, stupid time.
I need to fucking pop that in and watch it again. We need to watch that and do an episode because no one talks about that movie, and I think we need to bring it back up. Okay.
Oh God, no. Anyway.
Taxi Driver, De Niro.
Taxi Driver, De Niro, Jake Lockley is kind of, I guess, designed and molded after him. And he has a questionable moral compass. So I'm thinking Jake Lockley will make his appearance in the 4th episode, which also I completely agree with that. It has gotten better and better. And it's when Oscar Isaac is just fighting out on himself, you're just kind of like, yo, man, don't even let him put on the suit. Let's just watch Mark Spector beat some guys up because that's pretty fucking cool.
I agree. And that was actually one of my I don't want to say it's a complaint, but it kind of is in the sense that, and we've talked about this too, is that one of my complaints is that I actually don't feel like I need Moon Knight in his suit at all at the moment. Like I feel like they everything else has been built up so well. Like you said, I really care about Steven. I love Mark, and I want to see that. Yeah. When he's in Moon Knight mode, for me it actually kind of I don't really care about it as much. I just don't. Yeah, because I don't think they're doing a good job of what's the word? Like showcasing his powers, right? Like what makes him different. He kind of looks like a generic vigilante crime fighter, right? We've seen multiple times, and I just don't.
It was weird to me. In the fight scene at the carnival again, it was weird to me that he's impenetrable to bullets, but he can get stabbed through with his staffs.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. That
was weird. They're not doing a great job of that part.
Granted, like he uses cape technically to stop the bullets, not the suit. But again, why is the cape vulnerable to bullets? But that doesn't make any sense. Also, he did something really crazy. I was like, he like did a magician's throw cape thing, and it like sent the bullets back at the same speed as the bullets. I'm like, okay, I don't know, but
what are his powers? How many powers does he have? Clearly,
that didn't make sense.
They try to show him with super speed, essentially. Because when he runs towards the horse, he's got a lot of speed. He can clearly jump high.
Did you notice the quick? Speaking of that, like the quick cut of him bashing through the wood, like just to emphasize how fast he was. I thought that was funny.
I thought it was funny too. It
didn't translate. I was like, okay, that's funny.
So again, they've done a really good job building Steve Grant, building Mark Spector, because again, in this episode, in episode 3, you finally get to see them work in tandem.
Yes, that was one of the best parts of the episode. 100%, 100%.
It was great because now you realize, hey, he's got these different identities, and now they can work together. They can work symbiotically.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, push through to the next thing. Like, that's what makes, I think, his character unique.
I agree.
So I'm excited to see where it goes. The director has said that episode 4, everything changes. Now look. The director of Loki said at the end of Loki, everything changes, which actually turned out to be true.
That's very true.
Obviously. But there was also statements by the WandaVision director, which didn't come out to be true. They were just hype. So it could be a 50-50 thing. But I think that, hey, I think it could be a massive episode. I think we'll meet Jake Lockley, if that's what they call him. They may not call him Jake Lockley. I'm assuming they will. And then I think something's got to happen with Khonshu and Moon Knight. So
yeah. By the way, I've been loving Khonshu like as a character. I love the decision to make him like very. He's an asshole. Like he's an ass.
Yes,
that's a great means well, right? Yes. He means well. He wants to do good, but he is an asshole.
Dick.
He's such a dick, and I love it.
He thinks he knows everything, and he's right all the time, and he's so he like doesn't understand. Like you're so fucking stubborn.
Yeah.
That's
a big one. He's immensely stubborn, but he's trying to do good. Right. And I love that. Like you don't see that very often, particularly for again, he's a god. So you expect these characters to be more wisdom, more the voice of reason, and he's completely flawed. He's almost as broken as Mark. And that's what one of my favorite scenes was the trial scene, whatever that god's in the Pyramid of Giza scene first. And you brought up like that, the production design on that thing was awesome. It's movie level quality. I was like, that's fucking awesome. But there's that moment where, they chat, they sort of berate Mark to be like, are you okay? Like, are you good? And he's like, and he admits that he's not. Like, I'm not okay. And that it gets entwined with the fact that Khonshu is not okay. Like these two are probably not the best people to be working on this case.
No.
And yet they are. They're the ones who are like, we need to do this. And that's a great new dynamic in the MCU,
Absolutely.
like in terms of the story. And I love that. That's really great. I think it's really one of the best parts of this show. Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see where episode 4 takes us, and then obviously 5 and 6. But I think more importantly, I'm interested to see how the bigger effect on the MCU. There's been a lot of rumors that, since this does have to deal with gods, that maybe Thor or someone else is dealing with it, that maybe Gore the God Butcher is part of this, and that's why we haven't seen anything.
Sure.
Maybe not. I don't care anymore at this point. I'm holding down to the fact that we're not getting anything till Multiverse Madness.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I honestly don't really care if they explain that or not. I don't really need it. Because I kind of get, they built this all up so well now. I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah. Right. Okay. There's Egyptian gods. That's fine. Because there's fucking dragons in Shang-Chi.
Like, it's not just dragons, bro. It's a world inside another world.
Yeah, another dimension. Like, how do dimensions work in time? I don't know. I don't care. You don't need to necessarily explain that to me. I just think that this is cool. Like, I kind of get it now. Like, okay, everything's up for grabs. Like,
we leave it
werewolves,
out.
all supernatural shit that we've ever done as humanity is like a part of is the reason it's there is because MCU. Like, straight up. Like, I'm like, okay. Cool, whatever.
So
you don't have to tie this in with the dragon and Shang-Chi or the gods necessarily. I'm sure they will, but
I think the gods will be tied in because I do think it will connect to the wider MCU at some point. Because this is the one show where it's kind of been no MCU at all so far. Yeah, and I think Kevin Feige's saying at the end you'll see where it all connects.
You'll see where it goes.
And where it goes.
You mentioned Gore the God Butcher, which I thought that's actually really cool way if they had to do it. Like, that'd be a really dope ass way to introduce the character, which again, maybe this is why they're holding Thor for so fucking long, is because maybe Gore the God Butcher fucking comes at the end of this fucking season and just slices all those gods' heads off.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. how cool would that be to be like, oh, now we know why fucking Mark Spector and Khonshu are going to be part of the MCU, because this is now a problem.
And some stupid stinger that says Moon Knight will return in Thor Love and Thunder.
And again, I love those stingers where it's like personal, right? Like, that's a very personal thing to happen to Mark, and what we just saw, I would completely buy that. It's just like how they bought us with Black Panther and what's his face, like
Captain America Civil War.
In Captain America Civil War, when it was just like it was just his father. His father was caught in the crossfire.
Yeah,
and like that's all you really need.
Here it is, right?
Yeah, he didn't need to be like, oh, we knew about him a long time ago. He knew Natasha like from 15 years ago. No, he knew no one. It's just this event that happened, and now he's a part of it, and like that's fine.
If you're watching this and you watch our excitement on it on YouTube, or you can even hear the excitement in our voices on Spotify, you can tell that it's a very different way we're looking at the future of the MCU versus the future of DC. Just because, which we talked about earlier today, just because like, the MCU can now has pockets of craziness that are just so exciting. You have this like new dimension where Shang-Chi will live, and I think we'll see a new Iron Fist. We'll see a lot new mystical characters. Then you have this other dimension where gods and ancient creatures are now part of the game, and now everything's. And then also you have the real world where it's about to break into a massive multiverse and a galaxy that's fallen apart. It's fantastic how they've built everything. And like, we haven't even gotten into any new characters yet. Like, Black Knight's been introduced. Blade has been introduced. These dudes are coming out somewhere, sometime.
Vampires, like
it's gonna like Werewolf by Night is the first comic that Moon Knight appeared in.
Yeah,
he chases down a werewolf. Werewolf by Night apparently is a one-off Disney Plus movie coming later this year.
Fuck yeah.
So
please,
I think
yes.
Yeah, so like they're getting into the supernatural stuff, this mystical stuff, the galaxy stuff. It's just there's so many new pockets of the MCU. You almost like don't even care if there's not another Avengers for another 5 years.
I don't necessarily. Right. I don't need it.
That's how good they've done it.
I agree, dude. It's fucking. I can't. I stand back at awe, and it makes me feel like when we just to bring it back to DC and like, can DC find a Kevin Feige? I don't know if that's a straight answer, man. Like, of course there's possibility. Of course there could be, but Kevin Feige is on another level. Like, he's just found a pocket
groove
of a vibe that no one in history has found.
Right.
He is such a pioneer for that. I just don't know. I don't know if it's an easy answer of like, oh yeah, there's of course you can get another Kevin Feige somewhere, just pull him in, he'll know what to do. I don't know.
You're gonna have to find. You're gonna have to find. It's difficult because you'll have to find a fan that also knows how to execute it.
Exactly, and that's what he is, right? He's like,
that's what makes Kevin Feige special. He's a fan, but he can execute it.
a lot of people don't realize that Kevin Feige didn't just pop out of nowhere, right? Like he's been, not only has he been working on films in a general sense for years, he was working on MCU, Marvel films, before all this. So he had the perfect storm of just what I guess is needed, the concoction needed to bring something like this out. And like I don't know how many people there are who can say the same thing. I'm not sure, but
I agree, man. It's crazy.
It seems like lightning in a ball to me. I don't know if it's gonna be easy. But whatever fucking Feige's on, I want it. Just like if it's a secret.
But who knows?
Tiger Blood. I don't know. Whatever,
dude. Anyway, but that's
more
that's the talk of Moon Knight. Very excited for episode 4. Very excited to see how it connects to you. It's gonna be a crazy ending. I mean, the next like month of Marvel news is gonna be nuts.
It's gonna blow up.
Yeah, because we'll say it again. We're going to get a Thor Love and Thunder trailer. I don't think it's coming till after Multiverse of Madness. I think something happens in that film or something happens in Moon Knight.
I'm telling you, look, if fucking Kang who is in Loki, there's a very big possibility that Gore could show up in the end of Moon Knight. And then why not?
Bingo, bango, bongo. There you're like, oh, fuck. That's why we haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so on to the movie review of the week. We're talking about the movie that's taken everyone by storm, our close friends and as well. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. It is the new Michelle Yeoh movie. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Oh, I said it right. Directed by the Daniels, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert. Scheinert, I think that's how you say it.
Is it Scheinert? Yeah.
They have the movie is a lot. It can be a lot of things. You can say dildo nunchucks. You can say hot dog hands. You could say action star. The movie is a very, very crazy, weird movie, essentially about a family drama. But it's put into this world that the multiverse is breaking, and Michelle Yeoh, whose life is absolutely falling apart. Her husband wants a divorce. Her daughter and her cannot see eye to eye on anything. And I'm basically a disappointment. And basically, they also need Michelle Yeoh to save the multiverse. And you go into this multiverse, and as soon as you jump into the multiverse, the movie gets weird as fuck.
One of the weirdest,
it is so weird.
Things.
Ed, give me your thoughts on the movie, why you loved it so much, because spoiler alert, you loved it.
I very much loved it.
And let's talk about
I think it'll be more interesting to hear your take. So I'm gonna first of all, let me say something first, and then I want to actually go to you because so it's directed by the Daniels. If you don't know the other movies they've done before, one of their more popular ones was Swiss Army Man, which came out maybe 5 years ago now. If you haven't seen it, another famous thing that they did was they did the Turn Down for What music video. I don't know if you've seen that. Have you seen the Turn Down for What music video?
I have not seen the Turn Down for What music video.
Dude.
That doesn't seem like something that would be up my chest, but go ahead.
It might not be, but it is. Both examples are great examples of, you need to watch. This is my favorite music video of all time. If you're looking at it, it's so good.
Okay.
But these are great examples as to who the directors are, because they're basically known for just wacky, unhinged, like everything that a studio executive would say no to, basically. Or they would not get. It would look like fucking Egyptian writing to these motherfuckers. Mm-hmm. They say yes. They say, hell yeah. Why not? Let's put it in the film. So if you're not used to that, this film it just takes that even further. And so that's the kind of style that you're looking into. And this is why it's kind of an A24 film. It's not a film. Yeah, it is. Right. It's not a film that is necessarily mainstream, but no, none of these guys that think it's just mainstream. But that being said, it actually overall is very, if you can get sucked into it, you're down. It's kind of fairly grounded. Like people will get, it's just fucking weird. But anyways.
Yes.
Anyways, so that being said, I saw this film. I was very excited for it because I've seen their past work and I love them so much. This film takes everything they've done, puts it into a new level. The Daniels I'm familiar with. I knew what to kind of expect out of this movie, and I got what I wanted and more. So I want to start with your review, Alex, because I knew when I told you about this film, like, this is not a film I think Alex necessarily would want to watch, or may not be in his wheelhouse. But I thought it was so good. I think the film is Oscar worthy, and we'll get to my talk about that. But I think people will get more out of your review of the film, just because I think you have a more rounded, less biased a view of the film. So what did you think of EEAO?
EEAO. Okay. I was I had been told by several people that, same as Ed, that this film was great, including Ed. And I was very much hoping that it wasn't going to be another Lighthouse for me, or The Witch for me. People told me to watch The Witch and watch The Lighthouse, and I have nothing against Robert Eggers. I think he's a fantastic director, but I just couldn't get into the movie at all. Like The Lighthouse, I left the movie going, what the fuck was that movie about? I don't understand the point of this film at all.
Boy, don't go watch The Northman then. Anyway,
I was like, what was that about? I don't get it. But anyway, that's not for today. Anyway, so that I felt very much the opposite leaving this film. I felt very, very comfortable knowing that this movie was just about a family drama, about a mom and a daughter who, I mean, essentially, if we're going to spoil the movie, but to save the multiverse, you just needed to kind of fix the relationships and cherish the relationships that she had. And that's important. And she has to learn to, let her go, let her daughter be her own person, which, I have a sister and I have a mom. They don't get along at all. They can be around each other for 4 or 5 hours before they're okay, I need a break,
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, wow, this is fantastic. The key to saving every single world lies in a relationship between a mother and a daughter. And I thought that part was great. Yes, the movie is weird as all fuck.
What did you think? What did you think of the weirdness? As this is the first Daniels film you've ever seen, right? So
yes.
What did you think of their type of wacky weirdness that they go to?
The wacky weirdness was very funny to me at points, and then very just okay, this is a lot.
A little too indulgent, maybe.
Yeah, this is a little too indulgent for me. I'm not going to give this movie a 10 out of 10, but I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, little too indulgent is the absolute perfect way to put it. We go to a world where they literally have hot dogs for hands, and they're sticking their hot dogs in their hands, and you're just and then mustard and ketchup starts coming out of their mouths, and I started cracking up because I don't really understand why that was in the film, why that needed to be there, other than just to be weird. Yeah. At one point, the daughter, she's the villain, essentially. It turns, cops' nightsticks into dildos and starts beating the shit out of the people. And the action choreography is really, really great in the film. But
yeah, it is.
You're watching a 16-inch dildo slap a dude in the face, and you're just, in my head, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on right now?
And isn't it amazing? I think it was amazing the way that the Daniels both show a love for filmmaking in that sense, right? They spent a lot of time with the details of getting the fight choreography right. I mean, they even put the whole Asian what do you call it? Asian style fighting. Yes. With the powder, that classic powder technique when they get hit in the face, that's such a Jackie Chan thing. And they're mixing it with such outlandishly borderline effect. Almost offensive.
Borderline.
Yeah.
Wait. Borderline? At one point in the movie, you need a kick to get you connected to your multiverse self, right? So you you have to do something weird.
Yeah.
Essentially. So the husband, Short Round, we should not be calling him Short Round. We should be calling him by his name. Ki Hu Kwan. Waymond.
Thank you. There we go. Ki Hu Kwan.
Waymond is his name.
Waymond? Oh my God.
That's his name.
The RW.
No, the WAY. Wayman.
No, I know. No, but the people some Asians can say R's, right? So
I know. I think that's the joke.
I know that is a joke. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what's so fucking funny about it.
I was like, wait, I'm not saying it to be racist.
That's where it's like, no, not at all. That's why I'm like borderline offensive. I'm like,
right.
But it's fucking hilarious. Like,
right.
That's so good.
Anyway, so like, you need a kick. So like Waymond at one point needs to, I don't know if that's much better than short round. At one point, he takes gum from underneath a table, discarded gum that's been put underneath the table, and chews it to get his kick and connect to his multiverse self that can know karate or know gymnastics or something like that. Right. So at one point, she's fighting a bunch of people, Michelle Yeoh, and she does some of the nastiest shit ever to get her kicks. But these guys need a kick, and they literally need to stick something up their butts. And it's just like borderline offensive is not the right word because it's not borderline at all.
No.
Yeah, because like the guy, it's like a slow motion, almost anime-esque kind of animation.
Yes,
like he's jumping and he like is like full, like he's got his feet full up and he comes down. Like if this is the butt plug, boom, right onto it. So like, and then in the midst of that, an amazing action sequence takes place, and you're just kind of like, "Holy shit, that's really great fight choreography!" But he's got a statue.
He's trying to stick or they end up doing it. They get a fucking statue up their ass. Yeah,
and like, but you can go there when you take the time to also make the rest of it very good.
Right.
So my review of the film is in a few words: a fantastic, great point. And good story, surrounded by some very, very strange events, but very entertaining, very funny at times. I don't know. Every time I saw the hot dog hands, I could not stop laughing. I was in a mildly packed theater. I went to go watch this at 11:45 on a Friday afternoon. There was more people in this theater than there was for Morbius, which I watched Friday afternoon, day of release. This movie's been out for a few weeks now.
Hallelujah.
So I think people have been watching it. I think people are enjoying it. It's a fun movie. It's super weird. It's a little too indulgent.
Yeah.
At times, but they get their point across, and it's a family drama. It's a mom and a daughter that can't get along, that she can't accept that she's a lesbian deep down. Yeah. And she always uses an excuse saying, "Oh, it's not me. We can't tell your grandpa because it'll kill him." And that's not the truth. And it's her. And she realizes that, it goes up another notch. She wants the daughter to end up nothing like her. But sometimes as hard as you try, like, I'm not a parent, but I'm assuming as hard as a parent tries, sometimes your kid is bound to end up just like you because they're your kid. And that's okay. And, and
refinding love the head, my friend.
Yeah. Refinding love with your husband or wife, and it's just a really fun, very, very nice message in some insanely indulgent, effervescent rapping.
I could not agree with you more, even though I think I loved it more, I did love more overall. There's just some things I throw bones at. I give bones to, and that's one of them. But I totally agree with you. Like, actually, to wrap up to about something you said earlier about how it's actually not a multiverse movie and it's like really a family drama. I think that's one of the best qualities of the film. And people always say like, this is one of the best multiverse movies I've ever seen. I'm like, I don't consider it really a multiverse movie because it's not about the multiverse. You don't really care about the multiverse. It's not about finding what it is. It's not Interstellar, where part of the story is like needing to get, finding wormholes and black holes to get to work and all that shit and the science behind it. There's no science to be had here. No. It's a mechanism that they use to get this family story to reconcile. That's all. That's all it is. And I consider it just a family drama, and I think that's one of the best qualities of this film. And that's just to say that I agree with you. Like, I actually really don't like self-indulgent movies either. Like, we've talked about this before. Like, I get a little bothered when James Gunn goes a little too far with the James Gunn stuff. I get a little bothered when Taika Waititi gets a little too far because it takes away from the movie because they just want to like make their joke or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this movie does fall into that a few times. Actually, one of my biggest critiques of the film was that basically for about the first half of it's the movie split into 3 acts.
Oh yeah,
I would say about the first act and a half, I was having a problem because it did feel a little too indulgent. I wasn't sure if they were really servicing the themes of the story too much versus as much as they were just showing us a bunch of really wild, fucking weird shit. Yeah. And as entertaining as that was, I really got scared because I was like, is this going to wrap up in some way into some point? Luckily, it did. It does in the the second half of the second act to like the third act wraps up amazingly. Like some of the best emotional moments I've seen in a theater in a long time. There's a particular moment that I actually don't want to spoil. Fuck yeah! I'm trying to see if if I can get this to you in some way. The googly eyes on these particular items in this. God damn it! I don't want to say it. Fuck it. We'll talk about it sideline. There's a moment though that's just one of the best emotional moments I've seen in a movie in a long time that I want as like a picture, like on my wall forever because it captures.
I know what it is.
You'll know what it is.
Wait. If I do.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Okay. I fell in love. I haven't had a reaction to a cut to that scene in a long time. Like, wow, what a powerful scene that, again, these guys are masters at like mixing poignant moments like that with just outlandishly wild stuff. Like no one, I think, is doing that. And like these guys. And which is why I would say, the film largely like did away with my issue with that because it wrapped up so well. It's such a great ending for not just Michelle Yeoh. I think one of the things it does really well too is that the beginning of the movie starts off like you're in Michelle Yeoh's perspective for the most part. By the end of the movie, you're like you're with everybody. You're just like even the side characters. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening? How did they do this? How did they do this?
You're supposed to hate Jamie Lee Curtis's character throughout the movie, and by the end of the movie, you realize she's just another human being with human being problems.
The hot dog hands thing, it starts off like just hot dog hands stupidity, and then what they do with their story between those two characters in that universe, like could recontextualize that whole joke.
Right, exactly.
It's insane. Powerful stuff.
So I think the best way to sum up the scene that I know you're talking about is an amazing way to get a poignant message across without saying anything.
Oh, dude, I was crying. I was straight up crying. I loved, and I was laughing at the same time at that scene. Like, I don't understand how the Daniels are able to manipulate you like that. But I've just never had that reaction in that particular way in a theater before, and I was just like, wow. Yeah. Like,
the scene that got me was there's their conversation between the mom, Michelle Yeoh, and the daughter at the very end of the film.
For sure.
And they're kind of talking, and the daughter's basically saying, I need to go because you need to let me go. And then the mom, she turns around, Michelle Yeoh, she walks away. She says, I'll let you go. And then she turns around and she says, but you know what? You want to know something? I don't want to be here. I don't want to do these things.
I'm about to cry.
Don't want to do this stuff. Like, that is an insanely poignant moment between a mom and any son or daughter or anything, because it's like, you think your parent wants to always do what you want to do? You think your parent always wants to give up their life for you?
Absolutely. It's such a profound adult thing that isn't covered a lot.
Yeah, you don't talk about.
Quite frankly, that discussion at the end of the film between her and the mom, like, that's actually still a very rare occurrence, particularly in, I don't want to say particularly, I don't know what happens in other cultures, but in Asia, because I'm Asian, that is still, I think, a very rare thing to actually happen between a first gen traditional mom, even a dad, and their kid.
Let's talk about the race, because here. Like that to be Asian is, I think, makes it more, because everybody kind of knows that stigma stereotype that, you know, Asian parents can be a lot harder and stricter on their kids. And they do have a tough time connecting with their kids, and they do have a tough time accepting if their kids are different, accepting if their kids, you know, don't want to be the typical thing, a doctor, a lawyer. They want to be a creative person, things like that. So like, yeah, that conversation I think was a very special moment in the film. And I completely agree with you. The second half of the movie, because I will agree, it was getting too weird for me. I was like, okay.
Even for me. I was like, okay.
We got to do something with this here.
Yeah.
And then it just tied together. I'm going to sound like a broken record. You could probably cut out some stuff. Again, you got a little too self-indulgent. I know I say that about every movie and every length of every movie. Cut out some stuff and you're good. You're better off. But you should, hey, editing. It's important. Got to edit yourself.
I agree.
But yeah, it was a very fantastic story. It was such a touching story too.
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that you brought up the exact moment that like I was thinking of, like it just goes to show again, like this is what separates directors and directors.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
People who really know not just like how to tell people to do things and make some visuals appear on screen. It's like they take care of the story and all of it along with that. And so this is a moment you just can see like, oh, they knew what they wanted out of the scene and exactly what they needed to get in order to get the response from the audience in the moments they wanted. And the fact that we both went to that moment goes to show why these two are great, why this is like top tier directing, why this is like really special stuff. Like that scene is just so amazing because it just gets it so right. And I think on multiple levels, not just for Asians, right? They're Asian, and it does tap into that. But at the end of the day, all
parents,
daughters, all parents feel that way, have a form of that conversation with their kid. The best line that I could not even tell you, like, wow, that really hits home with my own mom. And I'm not even a daughter, like I'm her son. It's the same thing. It's like, yeah. Do you understand? Like, when you're young, you really think it's all about you. Like even that conversation, right? Yeah. You're thinking like the argument to be made at that age is like, you're not thinking about me. Like, my sexuality. It's about like who I am. Blah blah blah. And it's like,
all I do is
hold
think
on.
about you. Yeah.
All I do. Exactly. All I do is think of. I'm gonna start crying. All I do is think about you. Like a good parent. Is always thinking about you, even when they're not doing what you think is necessarily good for yourself. Right. They think they're doing everything they can for you. So you have to understand, hold the fuck up, okay? Yeah. Like she made a great point, like, you only come to me when you need something. Holy shit. And like I've loved my mom forever. And she said that to me one time, and I had to really sink that into my mind. I'm like, oh shit, like I don't see it that way, right? But she feels that way. Yeah. And it's true. Like I can see how like, I'll call her up because I need something, and that facilitates for me, it's like a facilitation of a conversation. Yeah. Not so much that I necessarily need something, but in her eyes, like that's what that's how she feels about it. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, that's actually really true. Like
that scene is just so perfect
and nailed that many ways. So well.
And that's,
god damn it,
that could summate the entire movie and just make it it puts the cherry on top of the movie.
I agree.
And makes all the insanity that you watched before not matter. No. Makes it not matter, makes it make sense. However you want to take it, it just makes it worth it.
Not matter. Yeah, worth it. I have a question for you, actually.
Okay.
Do you really think at the end of the movie, at the end of it all, do you really think any of that actually happened? I go back and forth wondering if that actually really happened.
Or was this like a fucking
like it was just like it's a
like, did Leo get out of the
metaphor.
Like
it's no, it's like a metaphor. Like the whole thing was just really a metaphor, because like there was none of the characters besides her still understands that any of that really happened. You know, right? Am I understanding that correct? No one really still understands like that. In their perspective, in her timeline, she just looked like she was some crazy bitch.
Holy shit. I think you're right.
I wonder if like...
I think you're right. Because you pick it up back at the laundromat.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they have that conversation where she says, this is blah, blah, blah. Where, yeah,
that whole universe in and of itself doesn't understand what happened really from her perspective.
Right.
So I go, was this all just a metaphor? Like, was this like a mother thing? If you like, maybe this was just a way to to show this problem.
The stuff a mom goes through.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. There was maybe none of this really actually happened. Like again, it goes back to the whole idea. Like
that's a very good point.
It's not really a multiverse movie at all.
No,
it's just some fun way to like
family drama.
Have you access this? The bigger emotional story.
Yeah.
So
all right. So
anyways, this is why I think the movie's Oscar worthy, and I think we should get it out.
I think it is Oscar worthy. I hope it gets. I mean, it came out early, but hopefully it
have a whole year. But
hopefully it gets remembered and it gets some recognition. Last thing, I think
that's great.
I thought it was great. Like, and again, we can end it on. Let's talk about Michelle Yeoh. Let's talk about her performance and how just fantastic she was. She wasn't just the Michelle Yeoh you've seen in Tomorrow Never Dies or whatever Bond movie she's in. She's not just the Michelle Yeoh you've seen in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and she's a very different Michelle Yeoh than you see in the Crazy Rich Asians. I named those three movies because those are the three movies you would recognize Michelle Yeoh from. She's insanely different in this. You get to see a side of her that you've never seen. You get to really, every side.
Every single side.
She basically gets to play herself at one point.
With that universe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought she was very, very good in this. She really can lead and hold the film because it is her film. And her husband does kind of help carry it just a tad, but at one point it's just her, and it's really, really great. She's funny, she's charming, she's heartfelt, she's devastating. She's like everything you want in a performance. So I know you want to talk a little bit about her performance. So I'll let you.
No, you said. I mean, bro, you said everything. Like it's a knockout performance. Again, I've said it in my review. Like, she's already a legend, right?
Yes,
she's
absolutely.
insanely well established. Like, wow, like she's one of the most famous Asian actresses to ever have lived. And all of a sudden, she freaking gets this opportunity to really stretch her acting capabilities and her even her physicality and all of that.
Yeah,
and it's like she's a new actress. It's like she's just an up and comer. I just could not believe. I was completely floored by how much she brought, and she absolutely nailed it. I swear to God, like right now, she's absolutely a front runner for the next Oscars for Best Actress. And whole nother year, who knows? But I mean, oh my God, it brings me more delight to say that this is something to beat. Like, it's not something that's going to be taken lightly. Like, people who want to win an Oscar next year, watch out. Like, bring your. I mean, I don't know if you start taking like freaking fight lessons while singing or some shit. I don't know, but
it was great. She was she was fantastic. The movie was very, very good. Ed loved it a little bit more than I did. The weirdness, weighed on me a little bit. Yeah. But overall, it's a movie I think you should see. And I think, capping 2022, it's still, I would probably put it up there as top 1 or 2 movies I've seen this year.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, we
haven't gotten to the big summer blockbusters yet or any other award contenders yet, but it's something to be reckoned with, man. It's
definitely something to be reckoned with, and it's it's one of those A24 movies that largely are kind of sleeper. It's hard for the Academy, which is kind of odd too, that the Academy doesn't recognize A24 as much as they should be, considering that they make like quality films.
Let's be honest, the Academy is a club, and you have to be in the club. And A24 is out of the club at the moment.
It is. That's where it goes to show. It's like the Oscars is just who knows. The state is right now is just a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, it's bullshit. So if they don't see this, like, shame on you guys, and it deserves it all. So please go see it.
Go see it. Yes.
Yeah, because like as of right now too, it's fairly limited still. Like, it's not really that wide, but I'd like to hope that we can get the movie or people wanting to see it, and then maybe we'll have a fighting chance at the Oscars because it deserves it.
I agree. I just hope it, I encourage everyone to go see it. It's a movie you don't see a lot, and it's fun, and it's just really, really, really great. Anthony Russo and Joe Russo produced it.
I forgot about, thank you for reminding me of that. Yes, I had no clue that they were producers on this. That's so wild.
Yeah.
It's so random. I saw their names at the end of the credits. I'm like, what the fuck? The Russo brothers.
They did this on a $25 million budget. If you watch the film, for you to understand,
That's fucking
I don't know
insane.
how to explain it to non-film people, but if you go watch this film, keep in mind they did this for $25 million. It's insane. It's insanity what they
again,
did.
And again, if you watch, and I would encourage you to go ahead and watch like their past works. The thing about the Daniels that makes them so special is that they are like some of the most pure forms of filmmaking that are out there. Like they don't necessarily care to have a huge budget in order to make something great or to like get a visual effect that they need. Like a lot of their work is actually fairly practical in that sense. Like they all think of it very simplistically. Like, how do we get this across in the most simple ways and in the most effective ways? And so again, like, dude, big companies who are looking to make great films at maybe a shoestring budget. These motherfuckers got it. Like can do it. It's amazing what they can show. Like what you really need. You really don't need as much as you think. To make a fantastic, just high level movie like this.
So you got the hot dog hands, just to give you a hint of what they can do. They got the hot dog hands, which is silly, but it's still a big thing. The action sequences look like they're shot with care, and
absolutely
there's not a ton of like quick edits around it. The way Marvel movies can do it, it's really well done. It's closer to a John Wick than I would say Captain America: Civil War or any of those movies are. That's how much better the action is. It's ramped up. It's great. There's a world where they're literally on a drawing and the drawing starts coming to life, and it's fantastic. There's a world where they're pinatas, for Christ's sake.
Yes,
it is
the pinatas.
So good and so creative. But yeah, I think it's I can't say enough about it on 25 million. Go watch it. You'll enjoy it. Maybe you won't. But it's such a fun thing. It's a great thing to watch this movie in a theater, and I was happy to see it. I think
we got the point across, but I think what will get people to stick with the wackiness is to know that there is a payoff. There is definitely a payoff for that. I did. A lot of people
talking about
it. I did, dude. It was such a.
I didn't cry, but I was like, that's fucking legit.
But you got it. I mean, it doesn't have to be tears, but you got it, right? Like, so that just goes to show that anybody watches this will also they won't be scratching their heads like, oh, this is like some existential shit. Like, I don't understand. Like, no, like there's a human point at the end of this that anybody can understand.
Yeah. If you're a mom and a daughter, go watch it together. Because if you have some issues together, maybe you don't at the end of it.
Maybe.
Just kidding. You probably do, but you may have a better understanding of each other by the end of it. Right?
I don't know. If your mom is like 60 and over now, probably not. They're probably gonna go like, "What the fuck did you take me? What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, the hot dog hands and the.
But hopefully, I don't know. Like, who knows?
Okay. The dildos were too much, too far. Anyway, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening and liking and all that jazz. And I'm Alex. That's Ed.
I'm Ed.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. See ya.